Hello, beautiful people. Are you gonna stay? Okay, oh, you want? Hello, beautiful people. Hello, everyone. Welcome back and welcome me back. And we're all welcome back. I'm so happy to be here. Long time no see. It's been, like what, 4 months now? That's crazy. Pop open my probiotic drink. And let's get started. We are here today because, one, I missed you guys. I definitely know I did take a little hiatus for a little bit. Oh, that's delicious. This is the mango chili Lake Tapash. Anyway, the point is that it's been a second. The past 4 months has been pretty crazy. In January, I was gone for 3 weeks for Fashion Week, and then I did Fashion Month in February till March for women's, and then I came back and was just traveling. Then I just kind of let myself get consumed by work. But I really have been missing you guys. I've been missing talking to you all and sitting here and being here and talking about books. I really miss talking about books. I want to update you guys and talk to you about what I've been reading. As I just said, I've been kind of all over the place, so my reading has also been all over the place. I've started books, I have not finished books, I have finished books, and here we are. I'm gonna give you a little update on what I have read so far and what I thought about them and where I'm at now and what I'm reading now. So, without further ado, grab your drinks, grab some popcorn, sit down, and let's enjoy the show. Wow, I don't know. It's not gonna be crazy. This is really good. This is the first time I've tried this one. By the way, I recorded this once and then I deleted it. That was really fun. It was like a practice round. Gotta make sure I'm on top of my game. We're going to start with Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. Now, oh my God, this book had me in shambles, had me ripping my heart out, and it also had me elated. It had endorphins pumping through my brain. It had me thinking thinking about these complex relationships and situations. There was so much happening to these people individually and as a team. So if you don't know, this book is about a group of 3 friends who are basically, they make video games. I'm giving a very light overview of like what it's about because I don't want to spoil anything. Oh, it starts in the beginning with them in college, and it also jumps back to whenever they were kids and then like leading up and like how the relationships were built, complexity of their relationships. The characters are Sam, Sadie, and Marks. Those are the 3 friends. And I really enjoyed how Sadie and Sam were the ones that started it, but they didn't have the romantic relationship. Obviously, there was a little bit more back and forth between their relationship. If you read the book, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to ruin this for other people. You just need to read this book. The things that individually happen and what they individually go through, what they go through together, and knowing what their individual thought processes are and what they think is happening, and the reality of it is very different from what they think. It's so good, and their game, the imagery that you can kind of imagine from what the gameplay is so beautiful. It's based in LA and Boston. I'm trying to remember. It has been a couple months since I've read this, but I honestly think I may reread it because it really just was so wonderful. I think how it was written and like how it even ended, like I loved everything. It was so complex and there were so many little details. It made you think while you were still able to enjoy it, which I love that I was able to enjoy, like thinking, because that's why a big reason why I read is to not think. And so I'll read mindless novels that like kind of take me out of this world, and sometimes I'll read a book like this, or I mean even one of the first books that kind of was like that for me was The Alchemist, and it was a storyline, but it also had so much deeper meaning to it to apply it to your own life, and that may not have as much philosophical thought into it, but it also just the way you absorb the information from the book can kind of help the way you absorb other people's information. I don't really know. I just really love this book. Whenever the meaning of the title came out in the middle of the book, I literally was dying. I was not okay. I was literally screaming. Shouldn't say that. That was a great book. The next book that we have, this thick boy, Jesus, Miss Sarah J. Maas. Miss Sarah J. Maas, I finally finished your series. Or for right now, I finished your series. I'm wondering if you are gonna have a 3rd book for Elaine, because ma'am, I have questions. And if you don't write another book, we're gonna have to sit down and talk because... One second, let me grab my list. I have a list of questions. This isn't even all of them. After I wrote this list, I started talking to my friends about it, and I was like, oh, there's so much that's going on. First of all, I know this isn't the most important thing, but ma'am, what is gonna happen with Elaine and Azriel? What's going on there? I wanna know what Azriel is thinking. I wanna know how Azriel, however you say his name, I wanna know what he's thinking. I also wanna know what happens to Elaine and Lucien. Is Lucien about to live his entire entire life just in agonizing pain that Elaine won't love him back? Is Elaine gonna have her kind of like heroic arc as well, like the same way that Nessa? So Feyre had her moment, Nessa had her moment. Let Elaine have her moment. I want to know what she's about to do. Is Aerys about to take over Baron? Is he actually a good guy? Is he gonna have his redemption arc? Are we ever gonna figure out why he did what he did to Morgan? Is Morgan ever gonna come out to her friends, and is she gonna find herself a little lady lover? What about Helion? Is Lucien gonna find out that Helion is his father? Are they gonna have some reconnection? I don't know if my daddy issues may not be able to handle that. Anytime I read something about a mother and a daughter, or like a father and a daughter, I am broken immediately. It's very sensitive for me. I'll still read it, but it hurts. I just need to know. I just want to know if they're gonna have a redemption arc. Besides all the questions that I have, man, you had 700 pages, and I think it is very impressive that you are able to write this much, 760 pages worth of stuff, and still leave me asking for more. Now, I will say this is the sluttiest book that she's written so far. It was really great. Loved it. I loved the relationship and how it went between her and Cassin. I loved her friends, Gwen and, don't mind me, I forgot her name, but you know, the little shopkeeper woman, the Illyrian, who has the ripped up wings because they're up in the Illyrian world. Oh, I also, what is gonna happen with that house? What about, oh my god, what is it? The Byron B. It's from the Court of Wings and Ruin. Whenever she made the deal, and Feyre made the deal with the guy at the monster Bryaxis at the bottom of the library. Where the is that guy? I don't know what he wants. What's gonna happen with the rest of the kingdom? Is Rhysand gonna become the king of, you know, Prythian? Sorry, I have so many questions. So I really hope she writes another book. But so far, I won't lie, there was some times where I had lulling points just because the world building is sometimes a lot. But that's also another reason why I love her, is because the world building is so good and it's so pretty. There were so many times where I just wanted to yell at Nesta because it's like, bitch, you're selfish. Like, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Like, literally get over yourself. Suck it up. You put yourself here, but stop acting like Elaine picked Nesta over you whenever you were the one being a bitch. And also, your sisters. Nobody's choosing sides with anyone. Feyre spent so much time. Like, take a moment and stop being a brat about the fact that Feyre actually sucked it up, and stop feeling sorry that you didn't help Feyre out. Just like, be a good sister. And of course Feyre loves you. She took care of you. Why wouldn't she love you if she didn't take care of you? I wanted to like literally take my hands, rock them around her neck. I just want to be like, rah, rah, rah. Get it into your head. Let people in. You're never gonna be happy. Anyway, sorry. There was so many points where I just wanted to like scream at her, but it was all part of the story because I wanted her to have her redemption arc, so she can like, now she's like this like fierce girl who loves and like da 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 da. But actually got to keep a little bit of her power too, because I was like, why are you taking away all her power? Like, let this woman keep her power. Let her become the new Amren, because Amren lost her power, and I'm pissed off about that because, oh, I want to know more about Amren. Where the did you come from? I want everything. But I was told I should read the Throne of Glass series and that it's better than the ACOTAR series. But I kind of want to read some other, like, I think I want to take a little deep dive into some other series as well. Like, I want to see other people as well. And that Throne of Glass series has a lot, that has a good bit of books in it. Now, after I read this, of course, Silver Flames, I read Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. This book, if I could just describe this book real quick, I would say the happy ending version of The Paper Palace, because they both kind of have that chronological, like the way that the time order is, where it goes over like, I mean, in Paper Palace it was like 50 years. I think it's only like 30 years in this book, but it's set in the summer home. It has a couple dynamic. Now for The Paper Palace, it's just more depressing because they built lives and they're like in love with one another and they can't have each other, but then, you know, obviously shit goes down and then they do, so there's like cheating involved, and it's like that, you know, so that one is a little bit more depressing. And also it goes over like some more seriously up things in her upbringing, so it's a little bit more less optimistic, less like fairy tale vibes, which is great. You know, it's more complex and there's like more serious situations. So, and I still loved, like, I really enjoyed reading The Paper Palace, even if it made me a little sad and like annoyed. But this book, Every Summer After, this is like a good summertime like romance novel. This is a book that you read whenever you just want to enjoy something, like you just want to enjoy a good romance. It's like Emily Henry with book lovers. Yeah, I want to read some more of her books because it just is fun to read. The relationships are good, the characters are fun, they're all very very different. The character build up, it's not like this. This is where, like, for it to, like, it's like for Paper Palace Tomorrow, like, the highs are really high and the lows are really low and you're feeling everything in the middle. Forever Somewhere After, like, this kind of book, it's like, oh, the highs are really high and the lows just, like, are, like, right below mid, you know? And, like, the most problems are, like, mid problems that just, like, cause a little bit of conflict, a little bit of stir up. And then you have the really big conflict that goes, like, a little bit under, but it's not like a stoop under. It's not like, oh, we're all the way down here and then here, like, where Paper Palace was. That was an hell of a ride. Even Tomorrow, like, those highs are really high, the lows are really low. Honestly, they're like just like are all over the place. But you know, you need variety. I need that. I need to be able to just like go through a book. I could read this so fast, like I loved it. It was just so like get in my brain. And then Tomorrow, read it really fast, but I also took my time with it because I just wanted to literally suck it all up in my brain. Like, it was so good. And of course, Silver Flames is just like, it's kind of both because you have the world, like, there's a lot of imagination within those fantastical like fantasy books because you're trying to imagine it. I look at it as like a movie kind of. It's so much fun to read those kinds of things because it's like complex, but it's not complex. You're just like, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of world building. So there's just like a lot to be consumed about. And now, to catch up on what I'm reading right now in this current moment, A Gentleman in Moscow. I heard a lot about this book. I've heard that it's kind of a slower burn and then it gets really good at the end. But I thought I'm just gonna read you guys the little synopsis in the back, and I also just want to see if you guys like hearing me read, because here's my thing. What if I just started reading, like, we read together? Like, I would have a series of like one book and I would read each chapter for a video. Like, I think that would be fun, but I just want to know what you guys think about that. But this is A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Towles, and it's 30-year-old Count Alexander Rostov is deemed an unrepentant aristocrat by a Bolshevik tribunal. He is sentenced to house arrest in the Metropole, the Grand Hotel near the Kremlin. An indomitable man of erudition and wit, Rostov must now live in an attic room as some of the most tumultuous decades in Russian history unfold. Unexpectedly, the Count's reduced circumstances provide him entry into a world of emotional discovery as he forges friendships with the hotel's denizens. But when fate puts the life of a young girl in his hands, he must draw on all his ingenuity to protect the future she deserves. Hailed for its humor, intrigue, and beautifully rendered scenes, this singular novel casts a spell as it relates the Count's endeavor to become a man of purpose. And he is a gentleman. This whole book goes over about, like, he just does deep dives into his brain all the time. He's such like a poetic person, which obviously the name is literally A Gentleman in Moscow. It's intriguing. I enjoy reading it. It makes you kind of just think deeper about life and things. Like, for example, he'll go down to the wine cellar and he'll be pondering over wine and what to pair it with. And then he'll think back about a meal that the same meal and same type of wine that he had years ago with his mother at some certain thing, and then he'll relay the accounts of that happened that night, and then it'll be this full chapter long deep dive into that memory, and then he'll be brought back to the present, like boom, flash. And that happens with like every single thing. It's a beautiful book of just like day-to-day life of him going through this stuff. And it definitely is a slower burn. Like, it is complex, but it's not like crazy complex. It honestly kind of just like feels like you're living through this man's eyes right now, like a life of house, or obviously under house arrest, but in this hotel. It's interesting in that regard. I'm almost in the middle, and so that opinion can easily change within literally, like, I could start reading it tonight and then the crazy part starts happening. But I don't know, we'll see what happens with it. The next book I want to read, I'm thinking about The Song of Achilles, Valley of the Dolls, or Taylor Jenkins Reid, One True Loves. I've also wanted to read Lessons in Chemistry, so I don't know. I have those four up for debate right now after I read this. Just depends on what I feel like reading. I'm not joking about reading out loud to you guys. I really am curious as to how you all would think about that. I read out loud a lot and I grew up doing that, and I want to do that, so. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for coming back. Thank you for listening to me. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I really missed you all, and I missed talking about books with you guys. I love you all, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell to know whenever I post my next video, and I shall see you next time. All right, bye. 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 Bye.